In this video, we're going to look at the rate formula or function and calculate different growth rates dependent on whether we're looking at year-on-year growth rates or just a percentage change. So we're going to do this looking at just simple figures, and those are the annual sales by year, not for any particular company or in any particular currency. The point of this video is just to illustrate how the rates work in Excel. So in 2006 we did 15,211 pounds, euros, dollars, yen, whatever. And in 2016 we did 38,940. So let's say you would need to know, or your manager wishes for you to know, what the percentage change was each year. Okay, so in other words, 2007 versus 2006 increased by 34.8%. Now this was calculated in Excel using just a standard formula. There's no function involved here. It literally takes the difference between the two and divides it by the starting number. Okay, so this would be the maths that you would have learned, textbook maths, how to calculate a percentage change. Now 2008 does exactly the same thing, looks at the difference between the two, divides it by the first. 2009 the same thing, but in fact because of recession or whatever the reason might be, 2009 sales decreased, 2010 the same, and then we're starting to see some pickup. So that's one way to calculate a rate in Excel. However, the point of this video is to teach you about the rate formula or rate function. So to do that, you press equals and then RATE for rate, open bracket, and then it tells you that you need to input NPER, or number of periods. Well, right now we're just calculating, as the years go by, the change or percentage change versus the last year. So we'll just take 1 because it's one period we're looking at. Then we need to put in here the present value, so I'll press comma twice to get me to present value. Now the present value actually means the starting value, so in this case it would have been 2006, so we'll fix it to that row there. And then the future value, which we need to put a negative in for this, is 2007. Now the reason we put in the negative is so that it comes back and appears as a positive number. Okay, close our bracket, enter. Now you can see it says 34.8%, so it's given me exactly the same amount as the other simple calculation above. So let's copy that over and paste just the formulas, F for formulas, and you can see it gives exactly the same amounts. Now what we want to do is calculate the year-on-year growth rates, and the way we do that is by putting in the number of periods we're changing by. Now what does year-on-year mean? Well, let's say between the year 2006 to 2016 we want to know what the year-on-year was. Okay, so we can see there are 10 periods between 2006 and 2016. What is the year-on-year growth rate? So the way we calculate this now, and believe me, if you were not to use the rate function, you would have a very tricky time calculating this for each year, is we'd go equals rate, open bracket, number of periods. We're going to link it above here to number 1. Okay. And then we're going to take the present value and put that as 2006. We're going to fix that row, and the future value again with a minus, so the rate returns in the correct way. We're going to put here to 2007. Oh, and I forgot, let's go back to this 2006 value here. We need to fix it to that, because we're going to look from 2006 to 2007 and then 2006 to 2008 and so on. So we need to fix that cell permanently there, and then close the formula. Okay, so the first instance we get 34.8%, which is correct because it's just one period we're looking over. Now let's paste in the other cells the same formula, and now you can see the rates are different. So what do these rates represent? Well, let's take 2013. We're looking at the difference between 2006 and 2013. So to get from that amount over 7 periods, that's a year-on-year rate or growth rate of 6.4%. Now, why is this useful? Well, let's look at the chart below. So these are the sales we're reporting. And the annual sales, you can see the figures are up here. So the sales dip down, again, recessionary times, and then they start going up. What's happening with the year-on-year growth rate? Well, at first, the first 2 years, because there were large increases in the first 2 years over 2 periods, have a very big rate. But actually then, over the decline in the course of the period, with the recession, etc., the rate has started flattening out, and only recently and in forecast terms started accelerating. So year-on-year growth rates can be a very good indicator for acceleration in sales and recovery. You might be asked to calculate these rates or need to calculate them yourself, but knowing the rate function in Excel will make this much easier. Now, if you're confused from any parts of this video, not to worry, you can download this workbook from the link provided with this video. It'll take you to a page. You just locate the workbook and download it. See you in the next video.